As the mute boy gently reached out and touched the baby's head, a sudden flash of golden light lit up the room. To everyone's shock, the boy opened his mouth and spoke. His mother froze, then ran to him and wrapped him tightly in her arms. She had spent years trying every method imaginable to help her son speak, but nothing had worked, until now. His sudden recovery filled her with overwhelming joy. At that moment, a man approached and told the woman the baby had been abandoned. Without a second thought, she decided to adopt the child. What she didn't know was that this baby would bring unexpected blessings to her entire family. As the woman stepped out of the car with the baby, a strange heaviness lingered in the air around their home. A sense of misfortune seemed to loom, but the baby sensed it too. Quietly, she used magic to dispel the dark energy. Moments later, a housemaid came running, breathless with excitement. Grandma had woken up from her coma. The woman was stunned and rushed inside. The entire family gathered, overcome with emotion, and celebrated her miraculous recovery. Later, the woman asked the doctor about Grandma's condition. He was just as shocked. It was as if her illness had disappeared overnight. Then Grandma noticed the baby in the woman's arms. When the woman explained how she'd found the child, Grandma's eyes filled with tears. Her own son was still away at war, and they hadn't heard from him in ages. But now, at least, the house had a new heartbeat. No one knew the truth. The baby was the reincarnation of a bringer of fortune. Her birth father had abandoned her simply because her mother was of low status. He handed the infant off to servants and left her crying in the storm. But as soon as she arrived at her new home, the skies cleared and the storm lifted. Later, while the woman and her son were walking in the countryside, the boy heard a baby crying. That's how he found her in the first place. The family celebrated the arrival of this new life, but their joy was short-lived. A spiteful woman appeared at their doorstep, mocking the woman and taunting her about her husband, saying he'd never return from the war. She even claimed that one day, the whole house would belong to her. The woman stood her ground and told her to leave. The intruder turned to go but nearly tripped as if struck by an invisible force, perhaps another bit of quiet magic. Still, her cruel words left everyone uneasy, worrying about the fate of the woman's husband. Sensing this, the baby used her magic again. She saw a vision of the man. He had been ambushed by enemies and lacked the supplies to fight back. The baby softly chanted a spell. The man heard her voice in the wind but couldn't see her. Then, a beam of golden light fell from the sky, and a mysterious container appeared in their courtyard. Hearing the commotion, the man rushed outside. On the container glowed the image of a koi fish. Those who saw it began to pray for a miracle. Suddenly, gold bars burst out of the container. Cheers erupted. With the new resources, the soldiers were able to regroup and win the battle. The next morning, the maid rushed in, barely able to contain her excitement. The war had been won. The woman was so moved she wept with joy. Meanwhile, the scheming woman who had cursed them was in a car accident. Her brother lost most of his fortune overnight and, in a panic, took a nasty fall. Back at the house, just as the woman was tending to the baby, a group of men surrounded the property. The baby sensed the danger and quickly cast another spell. A golden light swept through the yard, banishing the dark aura. But one of the men stepped forward, claiming the house now belonged to him, because the woman's husband, he said, had died in battle. The woman refused to believe him and blocked the doorway, standing firm. When the man tried to hurt her son, the baby once again used her magic, shielding the boy from harm.